Hey people of YouTube, today we're covering the complete installation of the 52-inch Savannah ceiling fan by Home Decorators Collection. If you found this video, you might be looking for some help. We're here to do just that. We've already unpacked the fan and we're going to install this thing step by step all the way to turning it on. So stick with us and we'll get you through it. If you want to, you can use the links down below and that'll fast forward to each individual step of the installation process, and that way you don't have to watch the whole video. But if after watching you found it helpful, please click like and subscribe, and that'll help other people find it as well. So let's just talk about the Savannah ceiling fan for a second before starting the installation. This fan is a dual mount fan. That means you can hang it from a standard flat ceiling with the included downrod, or you can hang it from a higher angled ceiling with an extension downrod you buy separately. The fan has 4 reversible blades, it's got a slide-on mounting bracket, the remote receiver has a quick connect wire harness plug to make connecting to the fan quick and easy. It does have a light kit and uses one LED bulb, which is also included, and the remote even has a wall cradle to hold the remote when it's not in use. And the battery is even included for that as well. Now before we get started, just a couple of notes. You want to make sure that the electricity is turned off at the breaker box and at the wall switch. If you don't feel comfortable working around electricity, please consult with a licensed electrician. And one other note is if you're hanging this fan where there is just a light fixture on your ceiling, you need to make sure that the outlet box is clearly marked acceptable for fan support. If not, you'll need to swap that out before beginning. So as you can see here, we've already unpacked the fan and I've opened up the manual to the parts page. We're just going to go over all the parts to make sure we have everything before beginning, and that way we don't get stuck along the way. So first up, you'll have the 4 reversible blades. You'll have the slide-on mounting bracket. That comes pre-installed inside the canopy with a canopy ring. We'll show you in the first step how to remove that to get started. You'll have the fan motor, the ball and downrod assembly, decorative motor collar cover, the light kit, one LED bulb, the light shade, the remote and receiver. Now as mentioned, the receiver has this quick connect wire harness plug to make connecting to the fan quick and easy. And the remote does include a wall cradle for convenient storage when it's not in use. And the battery is included for your convenience as well. You'll also have this hardware pack that has the blade attachment screws, the light kit screws, and plastic wire nuts. And if installing this fan with an extension downrod, you'll have this bit of extension wiring. So we have all the parts here, just some tools we're going to need for this project. Need a Phillips head screwdriver. We like to have a long one and a short one on hand. Need a flathead screwdriver. We like to have a line voltage tester just to make sure the wires aren't live before beginning. May need some wire cutters and strippers. You'll need some electrical tape, and of course a ladder. So we have everything here. We're ready to begin. Let's do this.
The mounting bracket comes pre-installed inside the canopy with the canopy ring attached. To remove the mounting bracket, first twist the canopy ring counterclockwise to expose the screws. You'll notice that there are 2 slotted screws and 2 standard screws located on either side of the canopy. Begin by removing and saving the 2 standard screws. Next, loosen but do not remove the 2 screws in the J slots. Once those 2 screws are loosened, simply twist the mounting bracket and lift it up to remove it from the canopy. This fan features a slide-on mounting bracket for easy installation. The mounting bracket has 2 slots on the top that will align with the 2 screws in the outlet box. To install the bracket, you'll loosen the screws in the outlet box and then align the screws with the slots in the mounting bracket. This is just a close-up demonstration of how it's done. To install the mounting bracket, use a Phillips head screwdriver to first loosen but not remove the screws in the outlet box in the ceiling. Next, feed the house supply wires through the hole in the top of the mounting bracket, then align the slots of the mounting bracket with the screws in the outlet box and slide it into place. Then use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten both outlet box screws. Make sure both screws are completely tightened and the mounting bracket is securely fastened.
Remove the cardboard motor stop from the motor housing and discard. This piece is just to prevent the motor from moving during shipment.
Before routing the wires and attaching the downrod, you'll first need to loosen but not remove the set screw on top of the motor collar. Remove the warning label and use a flathead screwdriver to loosen but not remove this screw. This fan also features a safety tab on the motor collar that will lock the downrod in place should it ever loosen over time. If you ever need to remove the downrod, push the tab down to unscrew the downrod. Before routing the wires through the ball and downrod assembly, gently pull the green wire from inside the ball and downrod assembly. Next, feed the wires through the decorative canopy ring so that it rests on top of the motor housing. Make sure the notches of the canopy ring face towards the ceiling. Next, insert the ball and downrod assembly through the top of the canopy so that the downrod comes out the smallest hole in the canopy. The last piece is a decorative motor collar cover. Place that on the downrod so that the largest opening is facing towards the threaded end of the downrod. Then gently run the wires from the fan through the bottom of the downrod so that the plug exits the ball portion. Gently pull the wires through until the downrod meets the motor collar. Attach the downrod to the fan by screwing it into the motor collar. Once the downrod is screwed in, use a flathead screwdriver to completely tighten the set screw on the top of the motor collar. Once the set screw is tightened, slide the decorative motor collar cover down the downrod until it meets the top of the fan. Now the fan is ready to be hung. Before hanging the fan, it's important to note the slot of the ball and downrod assembly that will align with the tab in the mounting bracket. When hanging the fan, you'll insert the ball into the mounting bracket and then rotate the entire fan assembly until you feel the slot engage the tab in the mounting bracket. The fan will drop slightly when properly seated. To hang the fan, lift the fan assembly up to the ceiling. Note the location of the slot that will align with the tab in the mounting bracket. Insert the ball into the mounting bracket and then rotate the entire fan assembly until you feel that tab engage the slot. The fan will drop into place when properly seated. Begin preparing the remote by sliding the remote out of the wall cradle. Then slide the battery compartment cover off of the back of the remote and insert the battery according to the diagram inside the battery compartment. If you have more than one remote control ceiling fan in the house, it's a good idea to change the dip switches. This will ensure that each remote only controls the intended fan. The dip switches can be set to any combination of up or down as long as the dip switches in the remote match the settings in the receiver. The dip switches on the receiver are located under a rubber plug. Use a small tool to set the dip switches. Make sure the switches match, and then replace the rubber plug on the receiver. You'll also notice inside the battery compartment of the remote is a switch labeled O and D. This is for light control. If you want to disable the dimming function, set the switch to the O position. To enable the dimming function, make sure the switch is set to the D position. Once the dip switches are set, replace the battery compartment cover onto the remote. When installing the receiver, make sure the flat side of the receiver is facing towards the ceiling. You'll notice that one side of the receiver has the quick connect plug to connect to the fan. The other side of the receiver has two wires to connect to the house wiring. Insert the receiver into the mounting bracket with the antenna side first so that the receiver rests on the ball and downrod. Take the green wire from the ball and downrod assembly and twist that wire together with the green wire from the mounting bracket. Next, connect the green wires to the bare copper house wire. This is the ground connection. Finish the connection using a plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Next, take the white wire from the receiver and twist that wire together with the white wire from the house supply lines. These are the neutral connections. Twist those two wires together and finish the connection using an included plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Next, take the black wire from the receiver and twist that wire together with the black wire from the house. This is the power connection. Secure the connection using a plastic wire nut and a piece of electrical tape. Complete the wiring by connecting the plug from the receiver to the plug from the fan. The plugs will snap together when properly connected. Then gently tuck the wires around the mounting bracket to make room for the canopy to attach. Attach the canopy to the mounting bracket by aligning the J slots with the screws that were loosened in the mounting bracket. Then lift the canopy up, engage those slots, and twist. This will hold the canopy in place. Secure the canopy using the 2 screws that were removed and saved in the first step. Insert the screw into the standard screw hole and then use a Phillips head screwdriver to completely tighten all 4 screws. Make sure all 4 screws are completely tightened. Attach the decorative canopy ring by aligning the slots of the canopy ring with the screws in the canopy. Then lift the canopy up and twist to engage those screws. This will lock the canopy ring in place. The blades are reversible, so choose the finish that you'd like and make sure that that finish is facing towards the floor. The blades attach to the fan using 3 holes in the blade that will align with 3 holes in the bottom of the fan motor. Insert the end of the fan blade through the slot in the side of the motor. Align the 3 screw holes in the fan blade with the 3 holes in the bottom of the motor. Secure the blade using the blade attachment screws. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to start the first screw. Do not completely tighten this screw, as you'll need a little bit of play to align the other 2 screw holes. Insert the second screw into the screw hole and start that screw using a Phillips head screwdriver. Remember, do not completely tighten this screw yet. Start the third screw in the third hole of the fan blade. Completely tighten this screw, and then completely tighten the 2 remaining screws.
Repeat this process for the 3 remaining blades. Make sure all blade attachment screws are completely tightened before proceeding. The light shade attaches to the fan using 2 keyhole slots and 1 standard screw hole. Those will align with the 3 screws on the black bracket at the base of the fan. Begin by using a Phillips head screwdriver to remove and save one of the 3 screws, and then loosen but do not remove the 2 remaining screws. Next, remove the twist tie holding the wires together at the base of the fan and gently stretch those wires out. Route the wires through the top opening of the light shade. Align the keyhole slots of the light shade with the 2 screws that were loosened in the black bracket. Push the shade up and twist to engage those screws and hold the light shade in place. Using the screw that was removed and saved at the beginning of this step, insert that screw into the standard screw hole of the light shade and completely tighten using a Phillips head screwdriver, and then completely tighten the 2 remaining screws. Make sure all 3 screws are completely tight before proceeding. The light kit attaches to the light shade using 3 standard screw holes. Those will align with the 3 screw holes in the light shade. Connect the light kit to the fan by inserting the plugs from the light kit into the plugs from the fan. You'll connect the black light kit wire to the blue wire from the fan and the white light kit wire to the white wire from the fan. The plugs will snap together when properly connected. Once the wire connections have been made, gently tuck the wires into the light kit and align the 3 screw holes of the light kit with the 3 screw holes in the light shade. Secure the light kit to the fan using the 3 thumb screws and washers located in the hardware pack. Start the 3 screws and then completely tighten using a flathead screwdriver. Make sure all 3 screws are completely tightened before proceeding. Install the included LED bulb by screwing it into the light socket. This fan features a full-function remote control. To turn the fan and light off at the same time, press the power button. The fan speed button will cycle through the fan's 3 speeds. Press once for high speed, twice for medium speed, 3 times for low speed, and another time to turn it off. Press the remote light button to turn the light on. Press it again to turn it off. Press and hold to cycle through the dimming. Release the button once the desired brightness is achieved.
This fan features a 3-speed reversible motor. The reverse switch is located on top of the motor housing. Switch left creates a downward airflow to create a cooling effect during the hotter months. Switch right creates an upward airflow to pull warm air from the ceiling and push it down into the room during the cooler months. Make sure the fan is off and not running before changing the switch position.
To attach the wall cradle to the wall, begin by removing the screw cover by sliding it out of the wall cradle. Then choose a position on the wall where you'd like to store the remote when not in use. Use the included screws and a Phillips head screwdriver to attach the wall cradle to the wall. Make sure both screws are tight. You may want to use anchors that are also provided when attaching the wall cradle to the wall. Once the screws are tight, reinsert the screw cover into the slots of the wall cradle. Now the wall cradle is ready to hold the remote when not in use. Congratulations, your ceiling fan installation is now complete. Time to sit back, relax with a nice tall beverage, and enjoy your new ceiling fan. As always, thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please click like and subscribe down below, and that'll help other people find it as well. And as we always say around here, keep it breezy.